Let's hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Puck It with Joe. Happy Friday, everyone, and happy Halloween. It is October 31st, a Friday out there on the ice on October 31st. What could go wrong, right? We're going to have a full moon. Are the dogs barking? Well, I know one thing. We got some day action out there with Colorado and Vegas. That one kicking off at 4 p.m. Eastern. So lots of times to still get your bets in, but we better get rolling on these games. Now, only 3 games out there, and it's time to make some freaking money. That is right, Blake. Let's make some money today. We had some nice ones yesterday. The Red Wings were able to take down the LA Kings, and a couple of those dogs barking out there on the ice. So let's get back to rolling here. Today's matchups, 4:10 Eastern, we'll see Colorado versus Vegas. We'll then see at 7:10 Eastern, the Islanders on the second night of a back-to-back versus the Washington Commanders. And last but not least, the hot Red Wings here taking on the Anaheim Ducks, a young, scrappy team that's looking to push the Red Wings in this one. I do think that is your overtime game of the night, so early preview on that. But you guys, let's jump into things. Seeing your guys' picks coming in here. Yeah, the Penguins giving us that great plus money yesterday. And it is all about the Jays tonight. I don't know about you guys, but hands up if you are turning off the lights, either heading to the pub or just watching at home to watch the Jays game versus the Dodgers game 6 of the World Series. I will have the lights off. I'm going to leave a bucket of candy on my doorstep. So the first kid to get to my house will hit the jackpot, because you know those kids aren't just taking one. They'll take the whole load and they'll be able to go home happy campers. But the rest of them, my apologies, out there for sure. Yeah, let's get going. You got to leave work, and let's get going on the day. We will do that recap. I'll bookmark the show as well. So the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights. 4:10 Eastern, we have Vegas at plus 100 here at home, minus 120 for Colorado. This total sitting at 6.5, and it is hard to not look at this one and say this one is going to stay under that total. Looking at both of these teams and their abilities out there, for their goal scoring has been incredible. Both teams averaging over 3 goals per game. 3.73 here for Colorado, 3.7 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we know Colorado is really led by Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Martin Necas. Those are your playmakers tonight, but there is no end of playmakers over here for the Vegas Golden Knights either. Dorofeyev should come out nice and strong. Jack Eichel, William Karlsson. I'm looking at those to be your playmakers here. Jack Eichel has 8 goals and 19 points on the season. Mark Stone is out of this lineup. He is leading this team with assists with 11, actually tied with Jack Eichel there, but he will not be in the lineup. I'm going to look at Dorofeyev to come out nice and strong on that power play. The power play point, I do think, is in play. You could look at his power play goal as well. Martin Necas on the other side for Colorado. I'm looking at his goal tonight for him to come out nice and strong. Now, Nathan McKinnon has been off to a fast start. He has 9 goals and 17 points in total. Cale Makar has 12 assists. When we look at the Colorado Avalanche, they have won their last 7 as a road favorite versus the Pacific, and that's what we're seeing in this one. That minus 120, the juice is starting to tick up as the day goes on. We know Vegas, though. Vegas is a team that is so solid at home. Your goaltending matchup is expected to be Mackenzie Blackwood here for the Colorado Avalanche. This does give me a little bit of angst, you guys, back in Colorado, especially as a minus 120 favorite. Mackenzie Blackwood is coming back off a 10-day absence from, or 10-game absence from this team. Scott Wedgwood has taken over. Now, I do think Mackenzie Blackwood will win his role back as that lead goaltender, but I am a little concerned here against Vegas in game number 1. I think he gives up those goals. So Colorado is going to have to do their share offensively to keep up, because Mackenzie Blackwood, he's returning from missing the last 10 games. He's got a 3.80 goals against average versus the Vegas Golden Knights and an 872 save percentage in his career versus them. Smith on the other side coming in for the Vegas Golden Knights, 5-1 on the season with a 2.73 goals against average and an 892 save percentage. When we look at him versus Colorado in his career, he does have a 1.44 goals against average and a save percentage of 958. He's had solid numbers versus Colorado. I don't think in this one that he limits Colorado where Colorado can't score because of the power makers here. I'm expecting this one to go over the total of 6.5. But I do think Vegas comes out and can win the first period. I like Vegas first period puck line, laying a half a goal. So that's an alt puck line because they are the underdog, or straight up on the money line. Earlier, I got them on the money line at -114. With the shift in the lines here, you're going to get them closer to that +100 mark. So look for Vegas to come out strong in the first. I do think this has a possibility of being a 2-1 first period for the Vegas Golden Knights. So if you do want to look at the over 1.5, the books love it too. It is highly juiced. You'd have to look at both teams to score. Do I think both teams can score in the first period? I do, but what I like better is Vegas to get those goals. So if you want to look at Vegas's team total in the first period, I don't hate it either. Now we are seeing Vegas off a win versus the Carolina Hurricanes, 6-3. Out there on Tuesday. This is their first game home off a 3-game road trip. They went 1-2 on that road trip. Normally, I don't like taking teams off a road trip, but the value on Vegas is there in this one. They start a 6-game homestand with this game here. They do have the Red Wings on deck on Tuesday, and Colorado rolling into this first night of a back-to-back. They're at the Sharks tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting. They're coming off that win versus the Devils on Tuesday, 8-4. Give me Vegas to start off hot in this day game. Great to see you, Irish King, here. Valerie Natushkin. You can't hate Valerie Natushkin to come out nice and strong as well. Troy Terry for the point. Cheap on him. Yeah, Troy Terry has been so solid. He's been getting those assists. And you've got Burns there, over 1.5 shots on goal. 7 in the last 7. I like that, where you're going with Burns. Okay. Moving on to the next game, you guys. We have the New York Islanders versus the Washington Capitals. Now, the Washington Capitals are a large favorite in this at -220, with the Isles rolling in on the second night of a back-to-back. Sorokin between the pipes, so tonight for the Isles. Now, we had the Canes and the Isles under the total of 6.5. Expecting that defensive battle. I'm kicking myself not for taking the Isles team total under that 2.5 as the Canes came out and almost went over that total of 6.5 themselves, putting up 6 goals. So we did go over that total yesterday because of those goals by the Canes, the lack of defense here by the Isles. And I don't think it gets any better tonight for this Islanders team. The Islanders are a +180 underdog. They're -220 here for the Capitals. That spread sitting at 1.5. +118 to the Washington Capitals. Almost said Commanders, you guys. Laying the 1.5 on the puck line. I like the Capitals laying the 1.5 on the puck line at +118. I think they have every ability to come in here at home and get a win on the Isles, second night of back-to-back with those defensive issues that we're seeing. You've also got Ovi looking for goal number 900. He's 3 away from that, you guys. So in this game, I'm expecting him to add to that. Sorokin, we know between the pipes this season, has not been strong. Now, this total of 5.5, I do think we could see one of two things. We look at the Washington Capitals, and I do think they want to get back on track. They've lost their last 2 games. The Isles have lost their last 3. They lost their last game to the Dallas Stars 1-0. So they had that really solid defensive showing. We have seen this matchup already this season. Back on like October 11th, I believe it was, the Caps won 4-2. I could see a game where it plays out that 4-2, pushing us over the total of 5.5. But I could also see a 3-1, them really not caring after they get those 3 goals, locking down on the defensive side. So I'm going to stay off the full game total because of that. The empty netters, always a possibility. Portis in that last game was able to net 2 of those 4 goals. So he has that strength versus the Isles. And I look at the Isles, and on second night of back-to-back, the Capitals should be able to score 4, 5, 6. They could go over this total themselves. So if you're looking at totals, I'd look at the Isles team total to the under 2.5, and I do love it. It's coming in at -120. I don't see them scoring 3 goals here, especially when Logan Thompson needs that bounce back, and the Capitals need the bounce back after losing their last couple. Logan Thompson has a 1.44 goals against average and a 939 save percentage. So it's not like he's shown the weakness, but He needs to be able to get the win. Now, the problem with the Capitals and why I think we could see the Isles score on the power play is the weakness of the kill here of the Capitals. That kill is only coming in at 67.9%, one of the worst out there in the league. The good thing about that is they really limit the penalty minutes, only averaging 6.7 penalty minutes per game. So look for the Capitals to stay out of that box. This is a battle of the freaking Metro, you guys. 8th in the Metro here for the Isles, 5th for the Capitals. Both these teams looking to get the win, but the Isles in a bad situation too. Last game of 4 out there on the road. Not a place I can really trust them. They do have the Columbus Blue Jackets on deck on Sunday at home. And yeah, that game last night was nasty. Now, the Washington Capitals are on their first night of a back-to-back. So if you want to look at them here in that first period, you know, the Capitals first period puck line, we've been making money. I took them first period puck line laying the half a goal. They have the Sabres on deck tomorrow. And then the full game laying a goal and a half at plus 116. I think they're able to win and cover both of those puck lines tonight. You're getting great plus money on both of them. Now, when we're looking at the goal scorers, if you really want to add someone from the Isles, Bo Horvat is leading this team with 6 goals and 11 points. Anders Lee and Barzal have those assists. They have 6 assists apiece. On the other side here for the Washington Capitals, I already told you, Ovi is chasing goal number 900, 3 away from goal number 900, and I do think he nets one tonight. Look at Ovi for the anytime goal, but you got to look at Portis as well. He has 9 points and 4 goals and 5 assists on the season. He netted 2 of those goals versus the Islanders. And I do think Portis comes out nice and strong in this one tonight. Dylan Strome has 8 assists, and Tom Wilson is leading in goals with 6 goals and 11 points. So those are your playmakers for the Washington Capitals. I'd only be taking the Capitals to get things done. I'm not sure. We got to look at Barzal. If he is going to come out in this game or not. I believe that he is. Washington on the money line and Ovi for the anytime goal. So, yeah, and he did break it against Sorokin last year. So, you know, he is going to be hungry. This is a goaltender that he can score on. So, I do think he comes out nice and strong tonight. Dorofeev, you're going to take for the power play point. Yeah, Dorofeev for the power play point tonight. It's great plus money. And I do think the Vegas Golden Knights will be able to score on that power play. I took him for the power play point as well as the power play goal. Tom Wilson to light the lamp at plus 185. No Strome tonight, right? Yeah, no Strome. Dylan Strome is out. He is still, this team still is strong without Strome in the lineup. I wish he was going to be back, and we're on the verge. You know, this is a hard thing about doing an earlier pocket with Joe. You just don't know for sure if these players are in or out. With Strome in or out, I do think the Washington Capitals can still win and cover that spread. And then something to note here, Matthew Schaefer, the young rookie here for the Isles, his first goal of the season and first career goal was in the first meeting between these two teams. So was versus the Washington Capitals. So, you know, he's going to be rolling in with confidence trying to get that goal. It's so big for these young rookies to play against playmakers like Ovi out there on the ice. And this is where you see those young rookies really shine as they take their shots, take their opportunities. The Detroit Red Wings and the Anaheim Ducks is our last game on deck, you guys. The storyline behind this, John Gibson versus his former team. This is the first time John Gibson has gone back to Anaheim to face his former team after being traded in the offseason, and this is going to be an emotional night for Gibson out there. I loved what he was able to do with the Anaheim Ducks, and I do think he has a huge night tonight for the Red Wings. And it's going to be a hard one, you guys. His return here should be epic. He's 4-2 on the season with a 3.20 goals against average and an 876 save percentage. The Anaheim Ducks are a young, scrappy team. They'll have Dostal between the pipes. Now, this season, Dostal has a 2.84 goals against average and a 906 save percentage. His career numbers versus the Red Wings at 3.43 goals against average and at 890 for save percentage. Now, the Ducks are allowing those shots to come raining in. They allow an average of 30.8 shots on their goaltender per game. Their kill is decent at 76.9%, and they are stepping up offensively, averaging 31.6 shots on goal per game, 3.44 goals per game, and their power play converts at 20%. Now, the Detroit Red Wings are on the second night of a back-to-back. That was a hard night last night, coming in off the shootout versus the LA Kings. If you took them on that money line, you got plus money last night. This is one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. 8-3 on the season, 3-2 on the road, 8-3 on that puck line. They are 8-2 in their last 10. They trend to the over, 5-3-2 to the over for those totals. So you guys, it's hard to go against the Red Wings in this one. I can't do it. I'm going to look for the Red Wings to start off with a bang. John Gibson to stand on his head at least to start this game. And then maybe the Ducks get back in as we start to see tired legs, those emotions start to settle down a little bit. But I think Gibson starts this one off so hot. Now, I will take the Detroit Red Wings in the first period. I took them here in the first period, not only on the money line. You can get, so the odds on this one is Detroit's minus 102. The Ducks are minus 118, total 6.5. You can get Detroit on the money line in the first period, right around that minus 111 mark. I think they come out nice and strong in the first. You could also look at the Red Wings first period total goals, over 1.5 total goals. I think they score 2 straight out of the gate on Dostal. Instead of taking the first period over 1.5, which the books have too highly juiced, or both teams to score, because I think Gibson stands on his head, I could see it being a 2-1 or a 2-0 first period with the Red Wings scoring 2 goals. So over 1.5 goals in the first period. You guys ready for this? It's almost 3-1 to your money, plus 290. I'm going to be keeping my fingers crossed as I take the money line as well as over 1.5 goals in the first period. Hopefully we're able to cash in on both. Now, if we're getting 2 goals in the first period, I'd be crazy not to take the over 3.5 goals for the full game. For the Red Wings, that's coming in at plus 138. So, of course, I went there. But I do think, like I said at the start of the show, this is your overtime game of the night. The overtime bet coming in at plus 340. I think the Ducks do end up finding a way to hit Gibson as we get deeper into this game. Anaheim's special teams really has been the difference. Their kill has improved to 82%. This kill is coming out so strong. And for the Red Wings, they have to maintain that puck possession, limit those penalties out there, because I do think the Ducks will be able to convert on the power play. They're such a balanced offense. I don't think that they lose this one. But again, this goes to overtime. You got playmakers on both sides of the ice, and you do have the Red Wings with those tired legs off the shootout. It was very physical, high-scoring, physical battle last night with the LA Kings. So you can see the Red Wings fade a little bit in this game. And I would be looking for, if we do see the Red Wings go up 2-0 in the first, like I think this game will play out, I'll be coming back in on the Ducks plus the 2.5 with a sprinkle on the money line as well, because at the end of the day, it's that tight. It's going to overtime, in my opinion, guys, at plus 340 with the Wings starting off hot. So hopefully it plays out exactly how I see it, because if it does, we're in for a big payday here. We got Dylan Larkin leading the Red Wings with goals, with 8 goals, 8 assists, and 16 total points. You got DeBrincat with 8 assists. You got Casper with 2 goals in last night's game, coming out nice and strong. Marco Casper, after being pretty quiet out there. Now on the Duck side, Chris Kreider, remember he was with the Rangers last year. He has been strong as a home favorite, being able to score those goals. You got Leo Carlson and Troy Terry both leading this team in assists for the Ducks with 7, and Gunther coming out with 6 goals. So you guys, you got playmakers on both sides of the puck. I do expect this one to go over the total. I take Cutter. I like Cutter better than Kreider in this one. I think Cutter gets it done today for that anytime goal. Yeah, I'm hoping Dylan Strome is back in the lineup for sure tonight. So keep your fingers crossed. Dylan Strome is back in that lineup out there for the Washington Capitals. But you guys, that's it. We got 3 games. It's going to be good. It's going to be a great night. But it's all about the Jays tonight. Stay tuned for my World Series Cup of Joe. that is going to be dropping right away. So at the 19:30 mark, the recap here, the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Get your bets in. This game starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Vegas, first period, alt puck line, laying the half a goal because they are the underdog, coming in at great plus money or straight up on the money line at plus 114. Look for Dorofeev for the power play point and power play goal. Martin Necas for the goal, and then Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar for their points, and Jack Eichel and William Karlsson for their points as well for Vegas. This is going to should be a higher scoring game. Sorokin and the Islanders versus the Washington Capitals. Ovi going for his hunt for 900. Give me Ovi for a goal. Give me Ovi for 2+ goals in this one. I won't take the Hattie, but we could see it happen in this game. Let me know if you're brave enough to take Ovi for the hat trick tonight. The Islanders team total under 2.5 goals at -120. I think the Capitals win the first period. I'll lay the puck line in the first period as well as the puck line full game at +116. Look for Portis to get those points on the board tonight, and Tom Wilson for the Capitals. Bo Horvat is where you'd want to look at Andersley and Barzal, but Matthew Schaefer as well for the Isles. But again, you guys, I think they only score 2.5 goals, so I am not going to take any props for the Isles. The Detroit Red Wings and the Anaheim Ducks. Give me the Red Wings first period money line. Give me the Red Wings alt puck line in the first period, laying a half a goal. Give me the Red Wings team total in the first period over 1.5 goals at +290. Give me the Red Wings team total over 3.5 goals at +138. And give me an overtime bet here at +340. Again, live betting situation once the Red Wings go up by a couple, as I do think the Ducks get back in this. As John Gibson makes his return to Anaheim, should be emotional. Look for him to start off nice and hot. Could he get the shutout win? Well, if he does, we're not going to OT. We'll lose that bet. But hopefully then we cash the rest here on the Red Wings. This should be a great night out there on the ice. You guys look for Larkin, DeBrincat, and Casper to step up for the Red Wings. As for the Anaheim Ducks, I'm going to look at Cutter, Leo Carlson, Troy Terry, and Chris Kreider to step up. But I appreciate each and every single one of you for joining me. You got to look at DeBrincat for that anytime goal for sure. He has been solid out there. You think Powell or Jack for a goal? I would look at Jack Eichel for the goal for sure. I think he comes out nice and strong and gets it. Debating on Necas after he got paid. I would still take Martin Necas for that goal tonight. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me here for Pocket with Joe. Again, stay tuned for my World Series bet. Palif. You are meaning Palif. Like Dorofeev? Yeah, I would look at him. I would look at him for sure. So I think Jack Eichel, though. I'd take Jack Eichel. I take Jack Eichel first. I think you can look at Dorofeev for the power play point and the goal. The power play point being the stronger of the two, between that and the goal. But you guys, yeah, sometimes it takes my brain a couple of seconds to work out what you guys are saying, but I appreciate all the comments here. You guys, let me know what you are parlaying tonight. If I'm parlaying player props, Ovi, Jack Eichel. Those would be my two favorite. Then Dorofeev, Necas. Let's take those 4. That's where I'm going to go. There's so many playmakers out there for the Red Wings and the Ducks, even though that should be a fun game. I'd be a little cautious with a lot of player props in that. But you guys, let's make some freaking money. Stay hot. Stay tuned for when Pocket with Joe will air tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. I am on Wager Talk, Last Call, Talking College Football. So make sure you come on over there and join me. And then we will try to get a couple cup of Joes out for those earlier games so you guys don't miss out on those lines. I have to do that show, and then we will do Pocket with Joe. So stay tuned for the notification on when that show will go live. But you guys, all the best in all of your bet. Yeah. Valerie Natushkin and Martin Necas, I do like. I think both of them have every ability, especially Martin Necas, to hit the board tonight. So you guys, let's make some freaking money. Stay hot. I will see you tomorrow. Stay tuned for my World Series Cup of Joe. It's all about the Jays. Let's go, Jays. Close it out in 6. Talk to you guys.